We now have the guy in custody. His bond is set at $3.1 million, so we don't have to worry about getting him getting out anytime soon, and there having to be competing rallies or another press conference. It's all drama-laden or whatever. But this guy left a message for you. The shooter, his name's Tracy Haynes Jr., alleged shooter, reportedly, whatever. Don't sue me. Don't at me. But Tracy Haynes Jr. did the shooting at Wilmer Hutchins, where Dallas ISD admitted today that he came in a side door, getting around the clear backpack and metal detector stuff. Another student let Haynes in through a side door, walked around the halls for a minute, found who he was looking for, and went up to a group of male students, started firing, hit a few people on accident, one guy on purpose. You could tell he was singling him out because he had fell to the ground. And then in the security footage that I saw that I think is the shooting, but I'm not 100% sure about any of this, it looks like he went up and shot him again at point blank range. This looked like a targeted hit. And so we're waiting for a little more confirmation on that, and we got it. On Instagram over the weekend, it was being passed around, and thank you to the listener who sent this to me. It was being passed around that he filmed a video between when the shooting happened and when he turned himself into police last week. And he sort of explained himself. Now, this is tough, man, because it's sort of a confession of guilt. It's sort of an explanation. And I want to stress, explanation, not an excuse. What he did is still wrong. But I have some sympathy for him after hearing this, because it's not so much a manifesto as it is a cry for help. This is sad. Remember, this is a child. This is 17. And he looks like a baby. I mean, he looks like my kids. My oldest kid's 14. He looks like someone my kid goes to school with, because it is same age. But I cut out like the first few seconds of this because he's just listing people and saying, I love you, so-and-so, I love you, so-and-so, I love you, so-and-so, I love you, so-and-so, I love you. So I'll pick it up a few seconds into it where he gets to the explanation, and just get ready because this is going to break your heart.
People named that I didn't name, trust me, I love you. I can't think right now, but I love y'all. This is my last time I'll be seeing y'all. Last time I'm talking to y'all, excuse my language, but I love y'all. I know I was wrong for what I did, but I didn't want to do it, but I had to do it. I'll be damned if one of us get buried again. I'm tired of us getting buried and nobody doing about it. My mama gone, my granny gone, everybody gone that I love. So I can't go. I can't go. I'd rather y'all see me like this, locked up, than y'all see me dead in the ground. Come on now. I know y'all don't want to see me dead. Come on now. Cause kill myself, but I know that's not what y'all want me to do. So let's be for real, y'all. I love y'all. All right.
So this guy's not full of hate or rage. He was just threatened by some other kids that said they were going to kill him at school. And so he thought the proper thing to do in order to not get murdered was to go kill first. Now, I don't think he's like a Hobbesian philosopher. It's just the way of the street there. And man, the part where he goes, I can't lose no more of us. My mom's gone. My granny's gone. I mean, you think his dad was ever around? This kid has no family. This kid, I think he was living with his aunt because she was the one that talked to the media after the shooting last week when they were looking for him. I believe they went to his aunt's house as well. And this is heartbreaking stuff because this is what we talk about. What chance did this guy have? He lost his mom. He lost his grandma. He has no family. He has no father figure that we know of. Pop culture isn't helping out a whole lot on steering him in the right direction. That's a 17-year-old kid who felt like he had no other option. It was either kill or be killed. And I don't know. Maybe he's right. Maybe if he didn't go kill this guy, that guy was going to track him down and murder him. Good God. This isn't what I had to think about when I was 17 in school. This is not something that ever crossed my mind when I was 17. It's not something you didn't have to think about that either. But who's there to tell him that there's more options? You know, I'm really getting sick of these people that say, well, we just need more mentors in the community, or maybe it could be his football coach, or we could have like a Big Brothers program. No, there's no replacement for a dad. There's no replacement for a mom. There's no replacement for a family. You can come up with good substitutions or the next best thing, but that breaks my heart. My God, our children need help. They're so lost that they think this is the way out. They're so lost that they're willing to grab a gun and go shoot another child. 800-288-9227. 9227. This is Kathy and Denton. You're on WBAP. What do you think, Kathy?
I think you're way off on this. I'm sorry, but there is no excuse. There is no excuse. I don't care what anybody's upbringing is. There is no excuse.
Wait, hang on. Can I stop you? You didn't hear me say this is an explanation and not an excuse. I said that exact sentence. So
you have sympathy for this guy. I have no sympathy. I mean, sure, it's sad that he grew up the way he did, but I have no sympathy for this guy. You start doing this, you're going to have way more shootings than we already have.
Well, no. I think you might be misunderstanding me because I don't think we disagree here, Kathy. When I say I have sympathy for the guy, that doesn't mean I don't think he should go to jail. He should definitely go to jail. In fact, he should at minimum get 30 years. I'd be okay if he got life. But I mean, I feel sorry for same way like in Michael Vick's dogfighting ring, how these dogs were abused and they were trained to be killers and they never knew anything different and they were agitated and poked and abused and traumatized and made into these killing machines when they were puppies. They never had a chance. They didn't have a good owner. No. They didn't have a good support system. They didn't have a good family. And so that doesn't mean I'm going to go adopt that dog and let it hang out with my kids.
There's a big difference between a dog and a person.
Well, of course, but that's the closest metaphor I've got.
And no, that's just not enough. Sorry, I don't agree with you.
I don't think we disagree. Where do we disagree?
Sympathy for the guy. No, there's no sympathy for what he did. There's no sympathy. I don't care what his background was. There's no sympathy when he murders somebody. No sympathy. Gotta go.
Okay. I mean, I think you're mistaking sympathy for leniency, and that's not what I'm asking for at all. I'm not asking him to go easy on him. I'm saying this isn't like a psychopath. This isn't like a Ted Bundy, a guy who is born without that, innate human connection that most of us share. This guy was abused into this situation. Or I don't know. I mean, my armchair diagnoses probably don't mean a whole lot to people, but I don't know. Part of that breaks my heart. It doesn't break your heart. It's not sad that this guy doesn't have a mom or a dad or a grandma. Could you imagine losing your parents, but not having either one of your parents before you're 17? I know you probably would have handled it better, but there's not just like a tinge of sympathy in your heart for that. Video that really looks like the kid in the mugshot, Tracy Haynes Jr., who's still in jail on a $3.1 million bond right now. This was passing around social media, and I mean, this looks real, but this was his parting message that gave you sort of a glimpse into why he felt the need to kill this guy, and it stems to the fact that he thought it was either him or the guy he shot. If he didn't go kill him, he was going to be killed by his, I don't know, bully is probably too juvenile of a word for it. But before we get to your calls here it is again.
People named that I didn't name, trust me, I love you. I can't think right now, but I love y'all. This is my last time I'll be seeing y'all. Last time talking to y'all, excuse my language, but I love y'all. I know I was wrong for what I did, but I didn't want to do it, but I had to do it. I'll be damned if one of us get buried again. I'm tired of us getting buried and nobody doing about it. My mama gone, my granny gone, everybody gone that I love. So I can't go. I can't go. I'd rather y'all see me like this, locked up, than y'all see me dead in the ground. Come on now. I know y'all don't want to see me dead. Come on now. Cause kill myself, but I know that's not what y'all want me to do. So let's be for real, y'all. I love y'all. All right.
Yeah, and in the rare instance here where I actually betray a shred of sympathy for a fellow human being, I'm getting criticized for it. 800-288-9227. I feel sorry for that kid. Now, that's not leniency. That explains his actions. It does not excuse them. He should still go to jail, probably for life. But it's just sad. There's a lot of kids that are going through this situation. When we want to get to like the root cause of why we have violence in this community or any community, this is the kind of stuff that we're going to have to deal with if we're going to get to the bottom of it, in my opinion. Walter, Dallas, you're on WBAP. What do you think, Walter?
I think you are showing a little sympathy for him. There's no excuse for what he did. The previous caller was right.
I didn't say it was an excuse. I'm sorry for interrupting you. I said it was an explanation, not an excuse. Those are two separate things.
Well, yeah. And
okay.
You're not wrong. The thing being is if he had to go out, and I question the situation is if he had to go out to kill somebody before they killed him, what did he do to them to make them want to kill him?
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's a legit question. That he's probably not just a completely innocent actor who is sitting there reading his books, going through his Tolkien series. But there's a disconnect that the rest of us have to where even if we were getting bullied, this isn't how we would handle it. We would drop out of school or switch schools, or hey, maybe this is the 1,748th good reason to get school choice in America is so if your kid's getting bullied, he can just go take his money and go to a different school instead of having to murder them or attempted murder them. All right. Am I being too soft, Walter?
Yeah, I think you are.
What's a first for everything? All right.
It is what it is.
Well, thanks for calling me out. Appreciate it, Walter.
Thank you, sir. Larry
in Fort Worth, you're next up on the James Show. What do you think, sir?
Well, I'm sorry, I disagree with those two because, I raised two boys in a mom and daddy home, and my boys didn't want to go out and kill nobody. They were taught better. And these people talking about sympathy, I got a daughter right now that's in prison just because she was hanging around with a guy that beat somebody up, and she didn't call the cops, so she got 10 years for it. So... I have a little sympathy for this boy. Maybe his parents, if his parents were doing their job and then was around, maybe I don't know if his parents were together or not, but it seems like what you're saying, maybe they weren't, and he didn't have the right raising, bring him up.
Well, there is such thing as people who are raised in the household with their biological mother and father who do go out and they commit horrific violent crimes like murder or armed robbery or whatever, and they end up going to prison. But for every one of those are 20 people from a broken home. So it does happen. You can do everything right and still, good mom, good dad, good household, and still have a kid who ends up in prison. But for every one of those, there's 20 that come from a broken home, either single mom or there's a step parent in the household or whatnot. And these aren't stats that I made up. Thank you very much, Larry in Fort Worth. Oh, by the way, your thoughts. Am I being too soft here?
I don't think you're being too soft.
All right. And let me get Obama to play the stats so I don't get in trouble.
We know the statistics that children who grow up without a father are 5 times more likely to live in poverty and commit crime. They're 9 times more likely to drop out of school, 20 times more likely to end up in prison.
There you go. Coming up next, you're going to meet a local watchdog who I think hates high-speed passenger rail as much as I do. Dallas EnFeugo on the James Show to tell you about a great victory in trying to squish the terrible idea of a light train from here to Houston. That's coming up on the James Show. News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3. New people, if you're an all-day listener, you already know this, but new people, I absolutely hate passenger trains with the hot heat of 1,000 suns. And not all passenger trains, just the ones that are subsidized by taxpayer dollars that lose money for no reason so we can have government-sponsored choo-choo train rides to places that people don't want to go. Hate it so bad. So that makes this next story so lovely. I think I found a guy who hates passenger rail as much as I do. And we both have something to cheer about. I want you to meet Dallas EnFeugo. He's a local political watchdog here, and we are both just basking in the glory of the funding being pulled for the Dallas to Houston light rail. And Dallas EnFeugo, first off, welcome to the James Show. What a great win this is.
Yeah, it's really great. I'm just here sipping the tears of the city council right now and everybody in the Dallas city government that was pushing for this project. I hate this as much as you do, without a doubt, for the same reasons.
Well, let's go ahead and spell out some of the details here. So the feds had pulled $62 million that were going to this project, but it wasn't to lay down any tracks or buy any engines. This was just to study the idea.
Well, there was $1.5 million that was already spent to study it. There was an economic feasibility study. And then, of course, there was the notorious trip the taxpayers of Dallas paid to send 5 members of the Dallas City Council to Japan last year to go on a little field trip to investigate high-speed rail. When it was really just, hobnobbing with Japanese government officials, eating expensive sushi, and, God knows what else.
Yeah, you can't go Google it and read online how it's working out in Japan?
Well, I actually don't know how it's working out in Japan. I know they have nice trains, but...
Well, I'll go ahead and spell it out. Every passenger train on planet Earth loses money. It's just not a thing anymore. There's one that kind of breaks even, and it is in Japan. So if you are going to go,
explain something.
Go ahead.
Let me explain something. The reason why that happens is because this is not modern technology, and this is the thing that drives me nuts about everybody that pushes for this. Let's take a 19th century technology and use that to move people. Meanwhile, people are developing airplanes that can move us from A to B 3 times as fast. And if you want to move past that, then we should be working on some Star Trek technology to beam people from place to place. My point is, let's advance the technology. Let's not step back.
Well, also, if this is such a great idea, why don't you subsidize a paddle boat that goes up the Mississippi next, geniuses? But does this mean that we're done with it, or is this something that could rear its ugly head the second the administration changes?
No, this is they're never going to let this go. This is their wet dream. Now, listen, I lived in California for 22 years.
Gross.
I have seen this boondoggle happen in California. It started as a $30 billion project and is now north of $100 billion. It will never pay for itself, as you've said. And also, by the way, it's the same problem that they have here in Dallas. And, if they were to make a rail line that goes from Dallas to Houston, they're never going to terminate in a place that people are actually going to want to get on them to travel someplace. If you live in Los Angeles, you hop on the I-5 freeway, you drive up to San Francisco. Unless you have a train that can do that in less time, it doesn't make any sense.
Well, we also have the glaring failure of the DART rail system here. And I invite anyone, if you think the DART rail system is a judicious use of your taxpayer dollars, get a lawn chair and a Dr. Pepper Zero and go set up over here by the American Airlines Center at the Exchange, which is supposed to be the busiest part of the entire trip, and see how many empty trains just go in and out of that all day. The doors open, no one gets on, no one gets off. It's like in North Korea or in the Truman Show, where it's just all for theater.
Let me tell you something about DART. 6% of Dallas residents, less than 6%, I think, actually ride DART. There was a study that was done a little while ago that showed that if you bought every DART passenger a Toyota Corolla, it would actually cost less than maintaining the current DART.
Hey, you know what? I saw that. I think I started that because that was when Plano said that they're going to withhold some of the funding. And I did the digging in on how much they spend versus how many people actually use it from Plano. And it came out to about $6,000 per rider per year. And that would cover the payments. That's about $500 a month. That would cover the payments on like a 2017 Corolla. Sure.
Yeah, absolutely. And Plano's not the only city. I mean, Mesquite won't participate in it at all. And
Genius.
I think that there are other cities around Dallas that are also saying, hey, we want out of this. This is a waste.
Good. Well, I hope it goes away. Now, can you stick around with me for another segment? Because I saw you did something better than anyone else has done it. You actually have a voter's guide because tomorrow starts early voting for a lot of us here in North Texas. And so you're coming up next, you're going to hear the official Dallas EnFeugo voting guide for the city council election in 2025. Now, this is going to be just for Dallas. But if you think that's boring and stodgy, the first one, District 1, the description here on his voting guide says, anyone but Bathhouse Chad. So this is not your typical voting guide. You're going to get a bunch of people torched by Dallas EnFeugo. See what I did there? Torched by Dallas EnFeugo. Bad joke. We continue with Dallas EnFeugo next on The James Show. News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3. And we continue with my guest, Dallas EnFeugo. You can find his good work on Twitter, X, whatever we're calling it these days. Dallas, at Dallas EnFeugo. So let's go to your voter guide here. Now, I know not everyone's in Dallas, but this is pretty impactful for even those who just work here. I found this hilarious. Now, first off, early voting begins tomorrow. The election is what, May 3rd, I think, something to that effect.
But, May 3rd, that's right.
Okay. So let's go through the list here. In District 1, you list on the official Dallas EnFeugo voting guide, anyone but Bathhouse Chad, ethics matter. Now, excuse me, who is Bathhouse Chad, and how did he get such an interesting nickname, Dallas?
Well, Bathhouse Chad West is the council member for District 1. I broke a story about him a little while back about how he used campaign donor funds to visit a bathhouse in Washington, D.C. Yes.
Don't laugh. Keep going.
He spent $139 of donor campaign money and then listed it on his report as supplies. So I filed a report with the Texas Ethics Commission, which they took jurisdiction over, and now he has to answer for that and a few other charges that are suspicious on his donor report.
Well, why do we assume it's suspicious because it's a bathhouse? If these other people can fly all the way to Japan just to look at some choo-choo trains, Chad can't go to a bathhouse?
You're not supposed to use your donor funds for personal use or lifestyle activities. That's the reason. That's the law.
All right. Well, and do we assume, why do we make the assumption that it's something nefarious happened at the bathhouse?
I didn't say anything nefarious happened there. I just said it's a misuse of campaign funds.
Okay.
That's the law.
Well, I don't know. Maybe he was meeting with a consultant there for the campaign. That's what I'm saying. You're jumping to some conclusions here by automatically assuming that all of our city councils shouldn't secretly go to bathhouses. You're
Chad
awfully strict.
Chad actually told me himself over drinks. Yes, I had drinks with him. That he was with a donor. But I say, listen, that's his poor judgment. It's poor judgment.
Okay. He should have used the other credit card. District 2, Jesse Moreno.
Jesse Moreno, I think he's a common sense. He's a common sense council member. He's the incumbent, and he's looking out for his city. And I think he's doing a pretty good job.
Wow, you said nice things about an incumbent. District 3, Zarin Gracie.
Zarin, also a nice guy. I don't agree with him on a lot of things, but his challenger isn't realistic. So let's just keep him.
District 5, don't care, but Jaime Resendez appoint a new CPC rep. We're all sick of Tony Shadid.
Yeah, Tony Shadid is the City Planning Commission chairperson. He's he's way over his term. He's about a year over his term. He's termed out. He needs to go. Jaime, find someone new, please.
District 6, anyone but Lotta Laura Cadena. And then in parentheses, Omar 2.0. Is that an Ilhan Omar reference?
No, that is Omar Narvaez, the district council member. He's termed out. Laura Cadena was his chief of staff forever, so she's just going to be a carbon copy of Omar. We don't need that.
Why'd you call her Lotta Laura?
Well, she's a full-figured woman.
District 7, Jose Rivas Jr., take Fry Cook off the burner for good. Who's Fry Cook?
Fry Cook is Adam Basildua. He's the incumbent. He's a joke. He's anti-cop. He is a political clown. He likes to go to political events and hang out with people like Jasmine Crockett rather than actually seeing the city business. He's not serious. Jose Rivas is a serious candidate. He sat on the police oversight board. He is a very common sense guy that supports public safety and hiring more cops, which the city so desperately needs.
Why you call him Fry Cook?
Well, he was a cooking instructor at a high school, so that's what I figure he's probably the best at.
Okay. For District 9, now this is going to be a tough one. You want people to write in Johnny Alamo?
Yeah, that's his handle on X. He actually ran against Paula Blackman in District 9 in the last election, and they're rivals. It would just piss her off. So I think it's funny. He's not even technically in her district anymore because they redistricted him. But I think that would be a funny thing to put in there.
We don't have a real challenger for District 9, though.
Nah, not really.
Well, I didn't know he was Johnny Bot on X. I actually follow him already.
Yeah.
District 11, you in the official Dallas EnFeugo voting guide, you recommend Bill Roth.
Yeah, Bill's in my district. I've met Bill. Very common sense, like Jose Rivas. Believes in hiring cops. Also believes in supporting and protecting our single-family neighborhoods, which I really value. I think that if a greedy developer wants to come in and rezone land to put up 1,000 apartments and the people around it don't want it, then you shouldn't do it. And Bill supports that point of view.
Yeah, I think that's one of the places where you and I disagree, but that's light and transient disagreements there. For the next district, vote for the GOAT in District 12. Kara Mendelson.
Kara Mendelson. She's the incumbent. She's done wonderful work for public safety, homelessness in District 12. Highly recommend her. She's a gift to the Dallas City Council.
All right, and flying right through this, the last one is District 13, Diane Benjamin. You want to send deeply unpopular Gay Donnell Willis a wildly popular message by Felicia. Why Diane Benjamin over Gay Donnell Willis?
Because it would be more symbolic than anything. Because she's an incumbent, Willis is an incumbent. Benjamin is going to have a really hard time beating her. But she believes in supporting single-family neighborhoods, protecting and fighting for the will of the people. So Diane is definitely the better choice.
All right, fantastic stuff. I appreciate both your comments on the train situation and the Dallas City Council Voters Guide. This is Dallas EnFeugo. Find him on Twitter or X or whatever the cool kids are calling it these days. It's just his name, at Dallas EnFeugo. Thank you very much, sir. Appreciate your time.
Thank you.
All right, good stuff. Another round for Dallas EnFeugo. I love another person who despises light rail trains. It drives me so insane to turn on the TV and everyone in the media, except for like a 4 or 5 people, just love all these shits. We just can't waste your money fast enough, Parker. Hey, coming up this weekend, it's finally going to happen. Blue Ribbon Roofing's 2025 WeatherCon. This is the thing where once a year we get together with our chief meteorologist, Brad Barton, and we take Fox 4's chief meteorologist and we stick them in the Frontiers of Flight Museum on Saturday morning. And you can come out and you can meet the crew. You can meet some of the other WBAP personalities. I'll be there. I believe Hal J will be there. He was the most popular guy, except for maybe Brad. But there's some cool stuff for both kids and adults. If you want to see some Store and Chaser presentations and their equipment in their truck, there's also a presentation from the National Weather Service. There's a lot of scientific and educational demonstrations for little kiddos. You know, some guys out there, like what was the guy, Mr. Brain Teaser, whatever his name was last year. Good stuff. And then a bunch of our sponsors and other people who are into weather and child's education will have some booths set up in the Frontiers of Flight Museum. So you get to enjoy this whole event while you get to see the museum at no cost. If you went any other day, they would charge you to get in, but you get to go free this Saturday from 9:30 until 1:30 p.m. Frontiers of Flight Museum, thanks to Blue Ribbon Roofing. It's Blue Ribbon Roofing's 2025 WeatherCon. Did I tell you it's free? And I know families, it's so hard to find activities for the kids these days. So come on out, take advantage. It'll be a good time. Learn it, love it, live it. And I'll be there. This counts also as our James Show listener meet and greet. Coming up next, a viral video that's going to make you laugh. Sally from Fort Worth explains why she hates Dallas because she thinks it's, in her words, too fluty tooty. That's coming up next on The James Show. News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3.